In September 2025, Phototonus, a Dutch engineering company in Delft, unveiled their most advanced night vision sensor yet, the 5G image intensifier tube. It's not a weapon, not a vehicle. It's not even complete on its own. It's the core component inside night vision goggles, the part that turns near total darkness into a visible green image, the part that amplifies whatever tiny photons exist in the night sky and converts them into something the human eye can actually use. And this new generation does it better than anything before it. 30% longer detection range, meaning you see movement farther away. Faster recognition, you identify what you're seeing, not just that something's there. Less noise, clearer images, fewer false shapes, fewer deadly mistakes. It's a tube the size of your thumb, but it changes something fundamental. Who owns the dark? That obsession with seeing in darkness, it started centuries earlier with a different problem, making small things visible. You could magnify them, but you couldn't trust what you were seeing. So how did a Dutch spectacle maker in 1590 come up with a solution? Hey, hoi! From nanochips to nuclear subs. Bet you didn't know these were Dutch. Welcome to the Dutch door. Let's check it out. Ga je mee? Zacharias Janssen was a spectacle maker in Middelburg, the south of the Netherlands. Around 1590, Zach had an idea. If one lens made things bigger, what would happen if you stacked two lenses together? So he built it, a tube with a lens at each end, the first compound microscope. Zach's microscope could magnify objects up to 30 times. You could see things invisible to the naked eye, fibers, tiny insects, grains of sand in detail. But there was a problem. Everything was blurry. The image was distorted, warped. The edges were fuzzy. You could see something, but you couldn't trust what it was. When you stack lenses, you stack distortions. Each lens bends light slightly wrong. The errors multiply. So Zach had magnification, but not clarity. Then, 80 years later, in another Dutch city just 50 kilometers away, a fabric merchant tried something different. In the 1670s, in Delft, the city of blue and white tiles in the Netherlands, Antony van Leeuwenhoek sold cloth for a living. To inspect fabric quality, he needed magnifying glasses, but the ones available, still terrible, blurry, weak, useless. So Antony decided to make his own. But here's the key difference. He didn't stack lenses. Instead, he ground a single tiny glass bead, polished it for hours until it was perfectly spherical and crystal clear. Just one lens, no stacking, no distortion. His single lens microscopes could magnify 270 times, nearly 10 times more powerful than Zach's design. But more importantly, they were clear. Antony had figured out what Zach missed. Precision beats complexity. So in 1674, Antony looked at pond water under his microscope and saw something moving. Thousands of tiny creatures, swimming, twisting, darting, things so small no human had ever seen them before. He called them animalcules, little animals. We call them bacteria. Antony discovered an entire invisible world. He looked at dental plaque and saw microorganisms swarming. He examined blood and saw red blood cells for the first time in human history. Everything had invisible life in it, but nobody believed him. The Royal Society in London thought he was lying. A Dutch cloth merchant claiming he discovered invisible animals? Ridiculous. So Antony did what any stubborn Dutchman would do. He invited witnesses, dignitaries, clergymen, lawyers, made them look through his microscopes and confirm what they saw. He drew detailed illustrations. He wrote hundreds of letters to the Royal Society. He kept sending letters for 50 years. Eventually, they had to believe him. In 1680, the Royal Society elected him a fellow. A fabric merchant from Delft with no education became one of the most respected scientists in Europe. And here's the very, very Dutch part. Antony never shared how he made his lenses. Scientists from all over Europe begged for the secret. Nobody could figure it out. He built over 500 microscopes. When he died in 1723 at age 90, he left most to the Royal Society, but the very best ones, those he destroyed. To this day, we don't know exactly how he achieved 270 times magnification with such clarity, but his discovery changed everything. By the 1800s, microscopy became a standard scientific tool. The germ theory of disease, understanding that tiny organisms cause illness, only became possible because of Antony. Louis Pasteur's work on bacteria built on Antony's foundation. Robert Koch discovering tuberculosis and cholera bacteria, Antony made that possible. Every vaccine, every antibiotic, every advance in microbiology traces back to a Dutch fabric merchant who wanted better magnifying glasses. Where are we today? Microscopes are everywhere. Electron microscopes can magnify 2 million times. Scanning tunneling microscopes can see individual atoms. We've gone from Antony's 270 times to magnifications he couldn't have imagined. And we Dutch never stopped being obsessed with seeing smaller. Fast forward to 1984. A company called ASML is founded in Veldhoven in the Netherlands again. They're working on something called photolithography, using light to etch circuits onto silicon chips. The smaller the wavelength of light, the tinier the circuits you can create. By the 2000s, ASML is pushing the limits. They develop extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV, which uses light with a wavelength of just 13.5 nanometers. To put that in perspective, that's 10,000 times smaller than a human hair. It's so small, you can't even call it light anymore in the traditional sense. And to make EUV work, they needed mirrors polished to atomic level precision. If you scaled one of ASML's mirrors to the size of Germany, the biggest imperfection would be 1 millimeter tall. That's Antony level obsession with precision. Except now, instead of grinding lenses to see bacteria, the Dutch are grinding mirrors to see individual atoms and etched circuits that power every smartphone, every computer, every AI system on Earth. ASML is now the only company in the world that can make these machines. Not Intel, not Samsung, not anyone else, just ASML, just the Dutch. And back in Delft, at Fototonus, they're doing the same thing, but with darkness instead of light. The 5G image intensifier doesn't just make night vision clearer, it extends when decisions happen. Earlier detection, faster recognition, less guessing. The same precision that let Antony see bacteria now lets soldiers see threats 30% farther away in pitch black. Same obsession, same country, different century. There's a direct line from Zach stacking lenses in 1590 to Antony perfecting single lenses in 1674 to engineers in 2025 building sensors that redefine what invisible means. Magnification without clarity is useless. Think of it like this. You go to the eye doctor. They make your prescription stronger. You can see the letters on the chart bigger now, but they're blurry, doubled. The edges bleed together. That's not helpful, it's kind of worse. You don't need bigger letters, you need sharper letters. Same problem Zach had 400 years ago. He could make things bigger, but you couldn't trust them. Antony made things clear and discovered an entire world. Fototonus makes darkness visible and changes who controls the night. Here's what Zach and Antony started. Your health. Every antibiotic you've ever taken, every vaccine that kept you alive. The reason doctors can diagnose infections instead of guessing, all of it traces back to seeing bacteria for the first time. Your lifespan. In 1674, average life expectancy was 35 years. Today, over 80 in developed countries. That gap, that is germ theory. It's understanding what kills us and how to stop it. And what about your water? You turn on a tap and drink without thinking. That's only possible because we can see what's in water and kill it. Before microscopes, cholera epidemics wiped out entire cities. And your food. Milk doesn't spoil in hours, meat doesn't kill you, pasteurization, refrigeration, food safety standards, all built on seeing microorganisms and understanding how they work. And last but not least, your technology. Every screen you're looking at right now, every computer chip, every smartphone, they exist because ASML in the Netherlands built machines with atomic level precision, the same obsession Antony had with grinding perfect lenses, just applied to light itself. From bacteria in pond water to circuits smaller than a virus, from a fabric merchant in Delft to every piece of technology on Earth. And now, phototonics is doing it again, but with darkness instead of microscopic life. Obviously, this technology isn't going to prevent wars. It never does. World War I, over by Christmas, they said. 4 years later, millions dead. Ukraine, February 2022. This'll be over in weeks. It's January 2026, still going. And now Venezuela, China, Trump talking about invading Canada. Canada, the country that apologizes when you bump into them. Night vision sensors from Delft aren't going to stop despots from invading places, but they might give the good guys an edge. And by good guys, I mean the Dutch, the Canadians, the people who aren't invading anyone and would really prefer if everyone just calmed down and left us alone. Antony's microscope didn't stop disease, but it helped us fight it. Phototonis' night vision sensors won't stop the next invasion, but maybe they'll help end it faster. Or at least give the neutral, polite, tulip-growing, not invading anyone countries a fighting chance. From bacteria to darkness to despots, the Dutch keep building tools to see through the fog. Then again, if seeing clearly has never stopped us from doing stupid things, what makes us think seeing in the dark will?